Hey everybody, I am very excited because I am speaking with meditation teacher Tom Cronin today, and I'm very excited to hear about his top tips as to how you can overcome your challenges and use meditation in your life to improve your everyday life. So Tom, tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to be a meditation teacher.
Well, we can go back a fair way. I'll take you back about 20 odd years where I started out as a broker in finance in the very hectic, fast-paced world of money, and that led to a very fast-paced, hectic lifestyle as well, which created quite a level of imbalance and distortion, and that ended up manifesting in many ways, particularly through depression and anxiety and panic attacks. As I was working as a broker, I was taking a lot of drugs and doing a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
And, that ended up just manifesting in some extreme imbalances, and so I had to do something about that, and I started meditating. I was looking for different tools for stress management, and I found meditation, and that made such a difference in my life. And it was one of those things, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go, and I really took to it. So as I explored further and further into the practice of meditation and studied some advanced courses in it, I ended up feeling naturally compelled to share what I'd learned and what I'd experienced with many other people. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like a choicelessness. It was something that I just was so compelled to do.
Yeah.
That ended up doing my teacher training, and then started teaching, and now doing it full time, running retreats and teaching meditation.
Which is awesome. So what was the catalyst to getting you into meditation? Because there were obviously a lot of other avenues that you could have gone down following your desire to improve yourself. What was it about meditation? Was there someone that gave you a book or a teacher that came into your life?
It was a lot of my own research, and that I was doing a lot of things along the alternative therapy lines at that point in time. But really, my imbalance was quite extreme, and I needed something really powerful that was going to correct that imbalance. I was trying to fix the problem by treating the body, but really what I had to do, and I just had this intuition that I had to get to the mind. The mind was really the source of all of the problems, and the body being a printout of the mind. I knew that that's right. I just intuited one day that I had to get into this box in here and start to do something about that. So I just researched many different meditation techniques, and I found a lot of them really difficult and really weren't getting to the point. And it wasn't until I came across one that it just really was so quick at the impact that it had on my life that my body just dissolved all those anomalies very quickly. Wow. Due to the deep level of rest I was getting from the meditation.
Wow, that's pretty exciting, I think, because I have so many people, I hear from so many people in my practice and through my clients and through my followers that their biggest challenge is how to stop this from thinking and how to get into the zone of meditation, and that is constantly the problem for a lot of people. So what is your meditation? How's your meditation different to other meditations out there? Because I've practiced ascension meditation, which is very different to many others that I've done as well. So can you tell us a little bit about how it works, or an insight?
Yeah, yeah, there are just so many different techniques of meditation, and it's like there's so many different languages. And the languages aren't right or wrong, it's just where are they best or most relevant. So if I'm speaking Italian in Sydney, then I'm not going to find life that easy. But that doesn't mean Italian's wrong, it just means that I'm not using it in the right place.
Yeah.
So it's like certain meditations are actually designed for monastic living, they're designed for people that live in monasteries, they're designed for people that live in the Himalayas, they're designed for people that don't have Facebook and mortgages and partners and companies to actually deal with. So when we try to embrace some of these meditation practices that aren't really relevant for Western lifestyle, we find them very difficult and very challenging. And there's a lot of people out there doing these meditation practices, and they're not getting this level of rewards that they could be getting from a different type of meditation practice. Mm-hmm. What I found is that the meditation technique that I teach is one using what I call stillness sounds or mantras. And the repetition of that sound, each person will get their own sound. And when we repeat that sound, which really is not a word, it has a particular frequency and it has a vibration to it. And when we repeat that sound effortlessly inside of our head, what happens is we get some entrainment where the mind will start to sync with the repetition of that sound. And this is the quieting effect of the mind. If we try to force the mind to do something it doesn't want to do, that creates friction.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are doing with their meditations. They're trying to force the mind to be still. And that is a really uncomfortable experience because the mind actually doesn't enjoy that. And so what we get then is we're going into a place of more friction, more discomfort, because we're doing something that's really unenjoyable for the mind. But when we repeat this sound, it's actually quite an enjoyable experience for the mind because the mind is fascinated by the vibration and the characteristic of that sound. So it's a really effortless process, and it really requires no effort whatsoever just to gently repeat that sound inside your head, and that will have a very quieting effect on the mind. The mind will, it's like when you tickle a cat underneath its chin, it starts to get all sleepy and relaxed.
Yeah.
Rub it behind its ear, the repetition.
Yeah.
The same thing with the mind. When we repeat this sound, it's got this really soothing effect on the mind, and the mind just effortlessly starts to lie down and relax.
Wow. And so is each sound individual to each person?
Each person will get their own personal sound. That doesn't mean there's 7 billion sounds on the planet.
Yeah.
It just means that you'll get a sound when you come and learn the technique with me. But it's like horoscopes or numerology. There's only so many of them, and many people have the same one. It's just that each person will get their specific one when they learn that technique.
Okay, right, got it. So why is the mind so essential to optimum health and well-being, and such a powerful tool for transformation?
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial. Very hard to be healthy when our mind's not healthy.
Yeah.
And having a quiet mind is really as much about your physiology as about anything else. For every thought we have, and there's 50, 60, 70,000 thoughts inside our head every day, there's a shift biochemically and physiologically at a subtle level, and sometimes at a much stronger level.
Yeah.
And every day it's backwards and forwards, all these constant fluctuations. And it's really exhausting for the physiology. The physiology is absolutely wiped out, and the physiology really is a printout of the mind. Yeah. When the mind transcends, and that means when the mind becomes still and yet is still awake. So that means we're awake, but we're not having a thought. Okay, that's transcendence. It's what we call pure consciousness or samadhi. Yeah, that is exactly it. That is exactly it. It is bliss.
It is such an amazing feeling.
Yes, it's a beautiful experience. And what happens metabolically is our body goes into a state of rest that is so profoundly deep. It's 4 times deeper than any sleep. And so that level of rest, much more profound than sleep. And what it does is it activates a restorative and rebalancing intelligence within the physiology. The body actually knows how to operate at a high level. It knows how to repair itself given the appropriate environment. Yeah, and absolutely. We quiet the mind. What we're doing is we're putting our physiology into a state of rest that enables that activation process and starts the repair. And it really is crucial for being part of the healing process. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's the only part of the healing process, but it is crucial to be one of the key ingredients in that healing process.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing it's really beneficial for people with depression, stress, and anxiety.
Absolutely. It's absolutely key for that. I mean, I myself suffered from a lot of depression and anxiety prior to meditation, and that literally went away within weeks. I noticed the change within the first week.
Yeah.
And it's scientifically proven. I mean, you can Google meditation and serotonin. I mean, serotonin is the biochemical for feeling happy. And effectively, if we're depressed, it's because we don't have serotonin. And if you want more serotonin, you meditate.
Yeah.
And serotonin gets released biochemically into our system when that mind becomes still. There's no more judgment, there's no good and bad, there's no more I'm no good, I'm unworthy, because we've transcended all of those concepts that held in the mind. Mm-hmm. And we're now putting our physiology into deep state of rest, and that releases these luscious biochemicals of oxytocin and serotonin that makes us feel so good and sassy.
Absolutely. I think after this interview I'm going to go and do some meditation because I did not sleep well at all last night. Here in England we had, I think, about 10 hours of constant thunderbolts and lightning, and which just kept the whole family awake. So I will be indulging in some meditation this morning to kind of get that rest that I desperately need.
Yeah.
One of the things I read on your website, which I absolutely loved, was the concept of where there is peace of mind, there is peace of body. I just love that. I just think that's so simple and really profound and just awesome.
Yeah, and we're in a state of chronic overwhelm on our planet now, and it goes from Africa through Asia to South America and Europe. The entire planet now is completely obsessed with information, and we have it now at the disposal of our hand in our iPhones and our Androids, and we are just absorbing so much data, and we don't have peace of mind anymore. We've got very active minds, and it's absolutely key now that we put aside. I'm as bad as anyone. I'm addicted to that information myself. I'm all day on Twitter and Facebook and blogs and, processing data all day long. So it's really key for me to live what I preach, and that is to put aside sections of my day for mental stillness. And that's where my meditation comes in. It's allowing me a structure around all that information absorption to actually have some time out for it.
And how long do you meditate for each day? Like, what's your goal?
It's much, it's a structured routine. I do 20 minutes in the morning when I wake up before breakfast. And then I'll do 20 minutes in the evening just before dinner. I did my one probably about an hour ago. So any time between probably midday and 7 o'clock at night, you could do your second meditation. And ideally, you'd want to do 20 minutes morning and evening.
Okay. And for people that want to start meditation and have never done it before, or just watching this interview for the first time and learning about meditation, where should they start? I mean, obviously you have a website and you do lots of meditation retreats, etc. Can you give some advice to where people could go to get more information?
Yeah, I think the best place to go to my website, tomcronin.com. There's an online platform called Science of Stillness. So basically the course of meditation that I teach, people will come to me in person and they'll get their sound, and I'll take them through a very instructed program of their meditation and understanding the mechanics. It's really important with meditation that we don't just try to do something without really understanding the mechanics. It's like trying to bake a cake without the instructions or the recipe. It's going to be very difficult for you to make that work. And I really think with meditation it's the same thing. It's really important that we get proper guidance from a teacher, and I've packaged all that up for people all around the world that aren't able to access a teacher because of locality or cost. And I made that a little bit more accessible in a platform called Science of Stillness, where they can actually download the platform and get their sound and learn how to actually meditate. And there's some extra modules in there on understanding the mind and the body, which is really important in meditation. And that's all there on the website, tomcronin.com.
Cool, thank you. And what would you say are the top 3 benefits that you've experienced since practicing meditation?
Yeah, it's a great one. Number 1 would be greater happiness and love. They're just key. I mean, ultimately, the driving incentive behind all of our actions is to experience more happiness and more love. Really, everything that we're doing on the planet is incentivized by the same thing, that need for happiness and love. And to actually have that self-referred, bubbling up within inside yourself, independent of any outcome or any action or any other person, to sustainably hold that space within your own right through that meditation is really empowering. So for me, that was number 1. Number 2 was the level of abundance that I naturally started to attract. Just on the laws of attraction, if you start to feel abundant within your own self, it's fascinating to see what you start attracting in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I can 100% relate to that, because I notice that when I do meditate more, things flow so much more easily in my life, and I just think, wow, I need to make it more of a priority in my life. And I do meditate every day, but I feel like I could do more, so I want to sort of ramp it up. So I think I might start myself a little challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I like that. So that would be the second thing. And I think the third thing, there's so many. I guess, health and vitality. Just having really good health and vitality, and having, I think, actually, I'm going to shift that to creative potential, unlocking my creative potential.
Absolutely.
Because it just leads to so much more. We're making a feature film and blogging, and there's just so many things that are just flowing naturally from that source that you connect with in meditation that it's it's almost impossible not to be successful when you're meditating.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I have experienced is just amazing mental clarity and creativity just through meditation and cleaning up my diet. And when I did that initially about 3 years ago, when I first tried to heal myself of cancer, I just felt amazing, like incredible. I was up at 6 o'clock and I was wanting to go into the garden and smell the flowers. And I just was really excited about life and just felt vibrant. And it was just an amazing feeling. And I would love to be able to bottle that and give it to everybody. But I can't.
Yeah.
So all I can do is try and spread the message of meditation and help people to improve their lives by using the techniques.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're doing. We don't actually need to bottle it up and give it to people because they actually already have it.
Yeah. They just
we just need to let them know that they have it,
yeah,
and give them the key to it, which is a really simple process.
Yeah.
And when they're ready for it, they'll come and get it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Tom, what else have you got in the pipelines coming up?
Yeah, got some exciting things. I'm going to Bali next month in August. I'll be speaking at a big conference called Awesomeness Fest, which is held once a year normally, but now this year they're running it twice a year, which is a fantastic conference with some of the world's leaders in the motivational and inspirational space. I'll be speaking on stage there, doing a talk on stillness for success. Mm-hmm. And then in October, I'll be running my Bali retreat. I do 2 retreats a year in Bali, which are just beautiful, nourishing, transformational experiences for everyone that goes to them. And they can find more about that on my website at tomcronin.com. Mm-hmm. And then we're making a fantastic film, which is going to be spreading wonderful content across the world about the power that meditation has and unlocking the amazingness within us. So that's a really exciting project that I'm working on at the moment.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to watch that, and do definitely let me know when it's out, because I will tell the world. 2014,
you won't miss it because it'll be everywhere.
Okay, fabulous. I look forward to it, Tom. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed speaking to you.
It's been a pleasure.
And I very much think that the viewers will enjoy reading or listening to the interview and diving into the meditation techniques that you practice and teach.
It's really exciting. All right, you're doing great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom, so much. Take care.
Take care, yourself.
Bye.
Thank you.